What loophole did you exploit mercilessly? Years ago when I was a freshman in college, Papa John's ran a promo for the Super Bowl where if you called the coin toss correctly, you would get a voucher for a free one-topping pizza. However, the only control in place was you could only enter the contest one time per email address. I created more than 60 emails, half of them calling heads, half tails. Ate free for 6 weeks. I was also not what you would call healthy in those days. There were several vending machines at my school and around town that had an exploitable design flaw. You could take 2 bills and scotch tape them into one long bill, one face up and one face down. When you put the bill in the machine, it would read the first bill correctly and the credit would show up on the machine. Then it would try to read the second, but since it was upside down, it would then spit both bills back out, and I could buy what I wanted with the credit it read from the first bill. I don't know if this counts as a loophole, but when I was in high school my buddy worked at Subway. This was when they had the rewards card that you filled out with stamps and after 8 subs you got a free one. I guess the employees were supposed to trash them when they were redeemed, but he just put them all in a box. One day he gave me a box full of them and I ate free subs until they discontinued the rewards card years later. Local pizza place gave me a coupon for a free up to 3-topping large pizza if I also ordered a $5.99 order of garlic knots. For the last year or so I've called once or twice a month and paid for the order over the phone. I then go in and pick up the pizza. They have yet to actually ask me for the coupon, so I just keep using it and the code keeps working. I did ask the employee if they wanted the coupon early on, but the person at the counter said, "Nah, fuck this place," and laughed. I thanked them, left, and never asked again. The ducks at the park are free. I'm just rolling in that free duck money now. When I worked at Target, I'd buy 2 to 3 games at a time. Some of them I'd play for a few hours before deciding I didn't really care for it. Since the products were open, I couldn't return them to Target. I learned that Walmart would exchange the game for you, no questions asked, without taking the wrapping off the new game. So I'd take my opened games to Walmart, exchange them for unopened games, then take the unopened game back to Target and return it for the full price. The car wash station near my house, if you put in a quarter it thinks it's a loonie Canada, and I can wash my car for $0.50 instead of $2. I have been using this method over 4 years. One of my students' job had a grossly overpriced Kinder Bueno vending machine in the break room. One day I accidentally realized it opened like a normal fridge. I've eaten approximately a gazillion Kinder Bueno in the course of 2 weeks without telling anyone, but my best coworkers. If you take the survey on the back of the Popeyes receipt, you get a free 2-piece and biscuit with the purchase of a drink. And you can take the survey on the back of that receipt to get a free 2-piece and biscuit with the purchase of a drink. And you can take the survey on the back of that receipt to get a free 2-piece and biscuit with the purchase of a drink. And you can take the survey on the back of that receipt to get a free 2-piece and biscuit with the purchase of a drink. And you can take the survey on the back of that receipt. The coin-operated laundry in our dorm had vertical coin slots, and if you placed the quarters in the fingers of a latex glove and then placed them in the slots, you could hold the opening of the glove, push the handle in and then withdraw it with quarters still in the slot. The machine would start and then simply repeat the process for every load you needed. Pet shop is a free zoo. At Burger King, a double cheeseburger meal cost more than a 2-cheeseburger meal for years. Pitch the 2 bottom buns and boom, double cheeseburger. If you work in education and have a .edu email address, you can almost always get student pricing on services that offer it, Amazon, Spotify, etc. We didn't have much money when I was a kid, but my mom ended up getting a timeshare at a local resort. It had a huge, amazing pool with a waterfall, hot tub, underwater speakers playing jazz, basically a kid's dream of a pool. My mom would take me, my siblings, and my friends to swim there all summer long. We even had birthday parties there. Never actually stayed in the resort though. My mom would just say, "I have a timeshare," if anyone ever stopped her, and I guess nobody ever checked if she was actually staying in the hotel lol. Pizza Hut partnered with a coupon book company. The coupon read, "Buy any one pizza and get a second pizza of equal or greater value. Free," so for about 2 years I would order a medium cheese pizza and get a large supreme for free. Thought of another one. A few years ago the U.S. Mint offered free shipping on dollar coins at face value to individuals in the hopes of getting them into distribution. Unfortunately, a bunch of unethical assholes such as myself maxed out all of our cards, ordering thousands of dollars worth of coins. We then drove to our banks, deposited the coins we had just received, paid off the charges, and then ordered more coins. Rinse and repeat until they killed the promo. I and many others racked up literally hundreds of thousands of miles points while the program was live. There was a NPC store in Lineage 2 that would sell basic crafting materials. If you purchased 9,999,999,999 at one time, the price would overflow back to like 2 gold. Then sell the 99,999,999,999 items back to him. Rinse and repeat. I traveled a lot for work. A lot. Europe, Hawaii, Asia, about once a month. For years, we could make our own travel arrangements, flights, hotels, you name it. Using airline and hotel credit cards, I would book the more expensive flights, multiple segment flights, more expensive rooms, all to bank points. After I quit, I took my girlfriend, now wife, to Europe 3 times. Only spent money on food. Flew business class and stayed in some really pimp suites. A Walmart near my place accidentally marked a specific flavor of beef jerky as $1. I bought 70 bags over a week until they fixed it. On my first year of college, we used to go to a nightclub that included 2 consumptions with the ticket. So you paid the ticket and they gave you 2 receipts that you could exchange at the bar for whatever drink you wanted. Well, the receipt were printed with the very same machine model and with the same paper that the library in our college printed the receipt for returned books with. Every Friday we took a lot of books and returned them using the automated system at the library that would give us a receipt for us to prove that the book was returned. Later that night we'd give those receipts to the busy bartender that could not be bothered to check those were real. This went on for months. When I was younger, I had Family Link on my device. For those of you who don't know, Family Link is a standard family monitoring app, and one of the things it could do is lock down my phone during bedtime hours. If I unlocked my phone during this time, a screen would pop up that says, "Time for bed," and I couldn't get past said screen until morning. However, young me quickly discovered that the phone needed to be connected to the internet, and I found that if I turned off my Wi-Fi and data, my phone would not lock. Even though I couldn't access the internet, I could still play the games already downloaded to my phone, so young me was a happy camper. 1 GBP equals about 20 Swaziland Lilanjanais Swaziland currency, but the £1 coin is exactly the same shape and weight of the Swazi L1 coin. Vending machines in the UK would therefore accept L1 coins as £1. Let's just say I had many cheap snacks and train tube tickets. My buddies and I used to save on movie tickets by buying 2 for all of us and splitting the costs. 2 of us would go in, 1 would go out pretending to go for a smoke with both ticket stubs and bring in another buddy. That buddy would then take both stubs and bring in another buddy, and we'd repeat this until we were all in. Probably wouldn't work now since I think most theaters have a no readmittance policy. Not me, but a customer of the store I worked at. Every week I would get a smoothie maker returned. Every week. Same model. After a few weeks of the service desk giving them to me, I asked, "Why do you give me one of these every week?" They said they didn't know we had a no questions asked return exchange policy as long as you had your receipt. I found out it was the same person returning it every week. Then as I dug further, it was the same customer who owned a burrito shop in the same plaza we were in. I saw him in the store one day and I asked him, "Hey, if the smoothie maker breaks after a week, why do you keep getting the same one?" To which he replied, "It makes the consistency of the beef perfect." When I was back in high school, my orientation was arts. So in my entire class there were tons of people that were good at drawing. We went partying, and in Germany they stamp your hand at some locations to show you've already paid entrance fee and that you're the appropriate age to get all the hard alcohol. 2 older classmates got their stamps and they came back out after 5 Maileinutes. On the parking lot we copied the stamps. We had brought a palette of different colored pencils for this, as the stamps change daily. We all got in. Typing, Rosebud, in The Sims. Vending machines at work stopped taking money and started giving out things for free over the holidays a few years back. I notified the bosses it was broken, waited a week, it wasn't fixed, so I let everyone know at work how you could get free snacks from the machines. Those fuckers were empty within 24 hours. More of a glitch I suppose, but when Redbox first started their app was much less robust than now. My wife discovered if you added a movie to your cart then hit checkout, then back, it would keep the movie in your cart but change the price to $0. We rented probably 30 movies for free, a few each week, until they finally updated the app. Think it'll finally share this one. On the YouTube mobile app, you can skip all the ads in the middle of the video by skipping through to the end of the video you are on, then clicking on the replay button. Sometimes, you will get one ad you have to watch, but it's so much better than watching all of the ads in the middle of the video. As a kid when payphones were everywhere, I would jam the coin slot with grass and come back the next day with a paperclip to retrieve the quarters from the coin return. Not much of a loophole, but it didn't say anywhere on the machine that it wouldn't accept grass. A supermarket in my town has a little bar inside of it that's run by the supermarket. They use the same payment system. The supermarket was running a coupon that took $3 off of every purchase, no matter how much money you spent. They were also having a sale at the bar where pints of locally brewed stout were $1, typically they'd be about $6. My friend and I bought 3 pints, total price was $3.21 tax. Subtract $3 with the coupon. 7-cent pints of really good beer. Went home, came back with a bucket. Bought 3 at a time. Spent just over $2 for 30 pints of beer. Had a great night. Tried to go back the next day but they'd caught on and gotten rid of the coupon. About 12 years ago when you could upvote all your own comments on Reddit. Easy karma for days. Every year Hulu has a Black Friday sale for $2 per month for a year as opposed to $8 per month, for new customers. 2 years ago it was $1 per month. I make a new email every year and sign up as a new customer and then cancel the old OND before it reverts back to $8 per month. Then I mass text the new login and password all the friends and family that had access to the old account. Forcing my Minecraft animals into generations of incest for my food needs. I once got a card to put in my car window to allow me to park at an event. The wording on the card was vague and just pretty much said I was allowed to park there. I used it while I was in college to park in the closer teacher spots. Little Caesars used to have a memory game, 4 colored buttons that make a different sound, plays a sequence that you have to repeat and each time it increases by 1, that I was a savant at. Top prize was a free pizza, and I'd almost always win. Spent a lot of time at my family's business that was a few doors down, and one of the employees would send me down with a quarter whenever they wanted pizza. I didn't really eat it, it is bad. After getting 25-cent pizza for months it suddenly became 1 pizza per week on the machine, then 1 a month. Eventually the top prize became garlic sticks or something, but I found a machine years later at a different location and did it again for old times. The Fortify Restoration Loop, Skyrim. The Poophole Loophole. My local Domino's has a 50% off coupon code that they give out when someone's order is screwed up. They never change the code. I've gotten a lot of half-off pizza. Our local McDonald's franchisee is a cheap ass and often doesn't participate in promos. When they were rolling out the mobile ordering app, there was a 2 for $2 deal they weren't participating in. At one store, they forgot to hide or turn off those menu items, but since they weren't participating, they also didn't set prices, so those items were free. You just had to add one paid item since you couldn't check out with a $0 total. I got a lot of lunches for me and my coworkers for $1 a day. My high school charged 10 cents a page for black and white printing and $1 per page for color printing. When you logged on to the computer at startup, it would then say, "Applying system settings," or something like that. On your desktop was your printing account balance where you could add funds to print whatever you needed to. After some trial and error and a bit of poking around, I found out that each computer had a list of profiles saved to its internal hard drive, allowing you to sign into a computer with the network cable unplugged. It also turned out that doing this gave you administrator-level access. Admins printed for a $0 fee for black and white or color. I'll leave it at that. Smile with a halo. In those mobile games where you'd get super coins for liking their Facebook back in like 2014 and you just enter and exit not liking and you'd get the super coins. My roommate and I during college made a golf club, which was just the two of us golfing twice a week. We would put in requests for flyers and then never put them up, or put up other clubs' flyers over ours. The school kept funding us, so we kept playing because we did all the paperwork to appear as a legitimate club. We would advertise our elections for treasurer and president, which was the two of us getting drunk at the local bar on wing night switching roles for the semester. I shot my best game, 83, my junior year. We got shut down senior year when they realized it was just the two of us. I regret nothing. A grocery store by me has a policy that if you found shit that was expired you could bring it to them and get a non-expired version for free. I was really poor and did this a lot. They really hated me for it and started adding rules like, oh, you have to spend the amount that the items are worth. Maybe take the fucking expired shit off your shelf. In high school we were not allowed to smoke in school, neither were we allowed to leave school territory. I read the rule book and found that they considered the sidewalk right in front of the building to be part of the school. Combining these, I was able to enjoy a smoke every noon break by leaving the school building but not the territory. They allowed it on the condition that I did not share this loophole with the other smokers. Contract in my shitty old job was written wrong, so I had to only give a week's notice to leave. I quit the day I passed probation. See ya, suckers. 10-minute breaks are closely regulated, but bathroom breaks can be taken at any time and don't count as your 10-minute break. School was full of them for me. I had some learning difficulties growing up, so I wasn't the most well-learned kid, but I was clever. So the school had that typing test, so we all day down to take it, and we had to write like 20 words per minute. I was doing 13 because my ability to spell was crap, so I got into the computer settings and changed my counter to count letters per minute instead of words. That way I could see how good I am, so I do the test and get my score and then do the maths in it on some scrap, and I was averaging around 22 to 23 words a minute, which is a passing grade. The teacher congratulated me later that day on getting the score and then told me she knew how I did it but isn't going to fail me because, technically, I followed the rules. A while ago some cell phones had the submerged indicator on the battery. I accidentally submerged my phone. I dried it out, replaced the battery, then brought my phone to be replaced because it wouldn't turn on. I'm currently in the middle of fabricating one. Every time I leave my house in the evening, my parents will always ask where I'm going. Sometimes I tell them, but sometimes I'll say something like, I'm going to smoke crack with some friends. And then I just walk out while they laugh it off. Been doing it for years, so they're desensitized to it at this point. My hope is that one day if for some reason they catch me smoking weed with a friend, I can say, I've literally been telling you what I do with my friends for years and you never cared. And of course they'll realize I was right. Stealing Gatorades from the vending machines in high school.